Well, if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what else will. It's Andy Hudson, host of Incentive Concepts Live, and coming at you from my basement, which is also known as the world headquarters for Incentive Concepts Live. Welcome to March. Hopefully it's a beautiful day in your neck of the woods and you guys are enjoying some wonderful weather, and hopefully the sun is out where you're at. Welcome again to today. I'd like our guests to turn on their cameras and unmute themselves so I can say hello. First of all, we have our wonderful co-host, Kevin Hagan. Kevin, how you doing?
Good, Andy. How are you today?
Hey, I'm wonderful. It's all good. How are things up in Chicago? Nice weather?
Yeah, it's getting nicer. It's only down to maybe about a foot of snow, so most is melted. It's getting much nicer. I can't wait for the weather to turn and get outside and enjoy a little bit of sunshine.
All right. And I know you love March Madness. I love March Madness too. I've been watching lots of basketball. Who do you got this year?
Well, I'd say I haven't been watching much of it, but I'm going to say Gonzaga is going to win this year. Maybe Baylor, but I'd say Gonzaga's probably got the best odds to win.
All right. We'll see if you're right. Can you welcome our special guest for us today?
I can. Welcome back to Bose. We have Brian Surette, our team partner here, and Big Sean McDaddy, who is our global training manager here with us as well today.
All right, guys, thank you. Let's start with you, Brian. Love the glasses going on there. And you haven't been here since September on our broadcast. It seems like it wasn't that long ago, but how was the end of 2020 for you and your family and Bose, and what's going on so far in 2021?
I got to agree. The time flew by. I was like, we just did one of these. It's all the way back to September. Amazing. But as you were mentioning, the sun is shining here in New England. So I decided to put my Bose Frames Tempo sunglasses on here so that I can keep the glare out. But everything's been going great. Bose finished the year strong. Had a great selling season despite all the logistical challenges that were caused by COVID-19, but had a great end of the year thanks to great customers like you. Me and my family, knock on wood, are healthy and everything's going well as our extended family has stayed healthy through all of this. So we're happy that everything's going good and hopefully pointing in the better direction as we move forward here.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And Sean, we're going to get to you in a second, but before we do, I want to mention that this is actually Employee Appreciation Week that we're in right now. We've been doing some really cool social media posts out there, and tomorrow is Employee Appreciation Day. I'd like to hear from you viewers. We got a lot of people watching. What are some easy ways you can show appreciation to employees? Okay, so whether it's your own employees or whether it's maybe employees of a company that you work with or a partner, put that in the comments. What are some easy ways you can show appreciation to your employees? And again, Employee Appreciation Day is tomorrow, so it's great timing to be talking with Bose. And Sean, you've been sitting here kind of quietly so far. I want to know how things have been going with you, maybe your family, anything that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, things are great. So starting to get a little back to normal. The past few months were a little crazy. My daughter is attending her freshman year of college upstairs. She's doing great. My wife's a school librarian, so the schools here were closed for a few months. So she was in the kitchen reading books, doing puppet shows, and I'm working. My daughter's going to school. So the schools have reopened here in Mass. So she's back to work, and things are going good. Getting a little back to normal, and the snow is melting here in New England. So ready for spring.
Yeah, it does feel like things are getting a little bit closer to normal. So we're going to get right into it here. So Brian and Kevin, I think you guys are going to step aside. But Sean, today's episode is called Become Your Best You. So why don't you kick it off for us and tell us what you got planned for us?
Yeah, so we'll kind of go through maybe a day in the life of owning a Bose product. And we're going to start with our Bose Sport earbuds, which we launched in the fall. And these were a replacement of our Sound Sport Free. And these are amazing, and they're really designed for when you're working out. So a great way to start the morning, hit the gym, or maybe you have a treadmill in your bedroom now if gyms aren't open where you are. But these are just amazing. They're so tiny. These are the Arctic white. I like the yellow contrast with the white. They're so small, so tiny, so lightweight, and so comfortable. And really what makes this product so stable in your ear during heavy workouts is really this little wing here. And this is part of our Stay Here tip. And what it does, it kind of hooks right under your ear, and you can run around, jump around. These are not going to fall out. They're not going to loosen up. They're stable as stable can be. And the nice thing with the product is There's 3 different sizes of ear tips. So if you have a smaller ear, you can use the small tips. A larger ear, you have the larger tips. So very comfortable silicone tips to make sure the product works for you. And it's great because it gives you 5 hours of battery life. This is the charging case that comes with it. And the case actually charges the product. So the product has 5 hours of battery life. And when you put it in the case, it charges it and will give you an additional 10 hours of juice. And what's great about Bose, that something we've traditionally done, we kind of call it better with time, that our products, we're able to control our products through software and firmware updates and make the product you own now an even better product in the future, 1 to 2 to 3 years. And an enhancement that we made based on some customer feedback was we added touch volume control onto the device. That wasn't at launch, but we were able to control the product and update it through the Bose Music app. So now customers, when they're wearing them, can just slide their finger up and down and control the volume. Obviously, you can also take phone calls with them, and it's just a great product. They sound amazing for their size. I'm really impressed. So they're about 40% smaller than the Sound Sport Free, if you're familiar with those. So sound great, super lightweight, and a great way to start your morning and getting the blood pumping with our sport earbuds.
Wonderful, wonderful. Those are a fantastic product. Lots of fantastic comments out there by our viewers. The sun is shining in multiple parts of the country, so that's good to know. Let's dive into your next product too.
Yeah. So we also have them in what I call the Baltic Blue as well.
Oh, I apologize.
Yes. So 3 flavors of sport earbuds, and this product is probably my favorite product and one that I use almost all the time is our Quiet Comfort earbuds. So this is really in your home environment. I'm sure there's a lot of chaos with family members and, homeschooling and trying to work and juggle Zoom calls and Teams calls. So these Quiet Comfort buds are amazing. So this is perfect for when you're in that work mode and you just need to tune out the world and just focus on your work or whatever you need to do, or maybe just listen to music to kind of escape. And what's amazing about this product, and really what makes it so impressive, is this was built upon the foundation of our noise canceling 700s, and our engineers were tasked with, we need you to deliver the same level of noise cancellation and sound performance that we have in our premium banded headphones in a earbud this size. And our engineers did achieve that. It's an amazing feat of technology, and the reviews are phenomenal. Critically acclaimed, customer acclaimed, great star ratings on the product. And they're really being praised as really the best sounding and the best noise canceling and the most comfortable noise canceling earbuds on the market. And I couldn't agree more. They're super lightweight. They have 6 hours of battery life. And we also integrated the touch capacitive volume control as well. So you can just move your finger up and down. So it has the same, you can take a phone call just by double tapping. It has great voice pickup. And what's great about the product is that, much like the noise canceling 700s, there's 11 levels of noise cancellation that you can adjust. So you can go from complete quiet, which would be 10, and then all the way down to 0, which is what we call transparency mode, or you can be somewhere in between. For an example, maybe you want 10 when you just want to tune things out, but maybe you're going to go for a walk. You want to let a little bit more of your world in your environment in. Maybe when we start traveling again, this is an example I use when I go to the airport. I keep it on 10. Then when I get to my gate, I bring it down to 5 so I can hear the gate announcements, but I'm still enjoying my music and it's canceling out a lot of sounds. Let's say I want to go buy a cup of coffee and I need to talk to someone, I'll bring it down to 0. And what 0 is what we call transparency mode or awareness mode. And basically what it's doing, it's turning on the microphones and amplifying the world around you. So what you're hearing is the world as if you didn't have earbuds in at all. It's truly amazing. And I encourage you to try this if you own a pair. Bring it down to 0 and take them out. You're hearing the world identically. And you can adjust through 3 different levels of presets just by double tapping on the left earbud. So right now I'm going from 10, now I'm at 5, and now I'm at 0. So it's really that convenient. And really the goal of the product was, we want to put as much technology into the product so you can leave your phone in your pocket. You can access your voice assistant, you can control your volume, you can take phone calls, and just a great product to tune out the world as we're trying to manage our still working from home environment, which hopefully is coming to an end this year.
Yeah, for sure. We're all working from home at Incentive Concepts. Well, most of us are. And I know we're juggling kids coming in and out from school or from their jobs, and spouses maybe working in the room next door or something like that. So very important to have that. I noticed those are kind of a white color. Do those come in additional colors?
Yeah, they come in the black, and these are what we call soapstone. And again, same rechargeable case. And what's nice about this case, it's actually compatible with a wireless charging mat, which I have one right next to me. So any Qi certified charging mat, you can just place the case right on it, and it will wirelessly charge the product. Where the Sound Sport Free does require a USB charging. So that's a nice step up feature for the QC buds.
Friend of mine got a new car, and they have one of those mats right there in their console.
Oh,
you could actually charge it right in there, I would imagine, right there too. So that's fantastic. Let's see what Kevin and Brian have been watching here. So if you guys could turn on your stuff here, Kevin, any good comments coming in there so far on the feed? Oh, looks like Brian's listening to some music.
Oh, sorry, I'm back.
No, just that everybody does love the sports earbuds that they've used, and we've seen a lot of good activity in the field. I think one of the things we really miss is the people having the opportunity to try these on, which we typically do at a lot of the shows. And since that hasn't happened recently, it still is a great product lineup. People know exactly what to expect from the product of Bose, and the QCs are something that's been a long time coming, the wireless ones. So those are great, and we've seen a lot of good reaction in the field so far.
Okay, I'm going to come back to you in a second, Kevin, so you can tell us what the comments are about Employee Appreciation Day, but I want to know what you were listening to there, Brian.
Kiss, of course, my favorite band. Got to rock out some good Kiss music. Yeah, I mean, like Kevin said, this is and Sean, I just tapped on the left ear. It reopened, stopped the music and reopened so I could hear you guys. And it's a fantastic product. I wear them all day long. I've got two kids at home right now that are homeschooling because we just finished winter break, so they're home for 10 days. And when it gets loud up there, they start playing their trumpets and doing their music lessons. Put these things in, put it back to 10, and they're drowned right out. So it's great for being able to focus on your work while you're at home.
Wonderful, Kevin. We asked about Employee Appreciation Week and Employee Appreciation Day. Anybody have any clever ideas out there?
Yeah. So Kathy Wilson gets the day off tomorrow for Employee Appreciation. I thought that was a nice incentive. Dan mentioned that traditionally he takes his employees out on his boat for various locations to Cape Cod during the day. And there's a couple other small ones in there, but those are the two ones that kind of stuck out to me that were pretty interesting.
Well, Dan, how about I take tomorrow off and come out and hang out on your boat? Can we make those arrangements?
Maybe you don't have tomorrow off.
Ah, well. It's Employee Appreciation Day. I'm going to give myself the day off. No, I'm joking. Okay. Well, guys, thanks for coming back on. Kevin and Brian, you're going to step aside again because Sean, you've got some other stuff to show us. So, Sean, let's kick it back over to you and tell us what you got next.
Yeah, I want to talk about frames, which is probably definitely in my top two products. It keeps going back between the QC buds and the frames. And number two, because I haven't been able to get outside and walk as much, but I can see that the snow is melting. As I mentioned, it's going to get into the 40s and 50s. So kind of we follow kind of the day in the life, taking a little lunch break. There's a nice lake near where I work where I live with some walking trails, which is nice. And this is where I take out my frames. I have the original pair of, these are our new frames Tempo. These have the mirrored optional accessory lenses in them, and they're really slick looking. I love these. I'm actually going to an eye exam appointment this afternoon. So once I get my new prescription, I'm going to put in prescription lenses. So that is great. And frames is really amazing. I've been with the company for 29 years. And if you told me 5 years ago we'd be in the sunglass business, I would have thought you were crazy. And it's just another great example of Bose creating a market that didn't exist. And we've done this timeless times through our company's history of no one creating a product or a category that no one really knew about, thought about, didn't want, but a product that once you experience, you kind of can't live without it. Kind of like noise cancellation. When Dr. Bose invented noise cancellation back in the late 80s, and then finally came up with the product in 2001, no one was asking for noise canceling headphones because no one knew what it was. But again, a perfect example of once you fly with them, there's no turning back. And frames has been a real, groundbreaking product for us of the concept of open ear audio. And that's what our engineers were challenged with is how can we deliver a Bose headphone-like experience without putting anything in your ear or around your ear? And it's really amazing technology. The speaker is right here. So the sound comes out towards the back and it's going right into your ear, and it's very directional. And there's not a lot of audio spillage. So people around you can barely hear that you're listening to music. And the great thing is your ears are open to the world. As an example, when I go for a walk, I put these in and do my lap now that it's nice out. I use these in the car a lot because when I'm in the car, my daughter takes over the radio station. So I can wear these in my car. I can listen to my music. I can have my GPS in my ear if I need it, and I can still have a conversation at the same time. So great product. And some of the enhancements we made over our original frames is the touch sensor. So you can now control volume just by sliding your finger up and down the right temple, also double tapping to stop your music, double tap to take phone calls. The microphones are up here towards the front of the product, so it's closer to your mouth. Great voice pickup for people on the other end. And there's been many times where I'm in the backyard on nice summer days taking a Zoom call with my frames on. So getting some sun and also able to talk to my coworkers at the same time. So definitely a great use case for that. So that's our tenor style. We also have a cat eye version, which is very appealing. These are my daughter's favorites. And these have the mirrored rose lenses in them, which are pretty slick. So this is a kind of that traditional cat eye style. And both of these products have 5.5 hours of battery life. So enough juice to get you through the day and all the same features that I spoke about. So that's our tenor and soprano products. And
I'm gonna stop you real quick.
Sure.
Your daughter sounds a lot like mine, taking over the radio in the car. So what does she typically do? Plug her phone in or just go radio?
Yeah, no, she just hits her favorite station, number 6, and that's it. So then I don't have to listen to her music, but I can listen to mine and still have a conversation. So,
and yours is on number 1 button for like classic rock or something.
Exactly, pretty much, yes.
Okay, good. All right. I do want to mention to people, we're giving away a pair of Bose frames today. And I think you're going to talk about that exact pair right now, aren't you?
Yes, I am. And this is our Bose Frames Tempo. And these are our sports headphones. And so really cool. These were Kevin and Brian were rocking kind of a wraparound, little Terminator-ish look. So these are really for high performance, for bike riding, skiing. I mean, you can wear them wherever you want, but we really were going after those folks who are really active and want a pair of active sports sunglasses. It's a huge category in the sunglass industry, and some nice advantages. You'll notice that the temple is a little bit larger, so we're actually able to put a larger battery in here. So this product actually has 8 hours of battery life, which is great because we have a little more real estate in there, but same touch capacitive sensor on the side, as well as double tap to take phone calls. They look slick. This has USB-C charging right inside there. So all of the same features. They're super comfortable. You see how the tips are very flexible, so they wrap around there. Comes with a really, really nice case as well, which has the power cord. And there's also 3 different size of nose pads, and that helps the product from slipping down your nose. So depending on how active you are, you can find the right size nose pad, and these things aren't going to slide down your face at all. I did want to show you, we do have accessory lenses for the Tempo, and they come in 2 different colors, and I'll rock the crazy look here. So you've got the trail blue here and then the orange, and these let in different amounts of light. The orange are meant for really bright conditions, really sunny days, beach, maybe if you're skiing, helps filter out some of that harsh light. Where the blue, sorry, it's backwards when I'm looking at it. The blue is called trail blue. So if you're mountain biking through some trails or in the woods and it's a little bit lower light, it'll let more light in. So the lenses not only are different cool color options, but they also serve a physical purpose in adjusting the light. So yeah, Tempos are real popular, and I think really the frames, I think with slowly creeping out of COVID, the weather getting warm, I think we're going to see frames really take off. So excited about this spring.
You ever get any reaction when you wear those ones with the 2 different colors on there when you're out and about?
Yeah, they think I'm nuts. Well, first of all, it makes me blind, so I can't see, and it's a very strange look. It's like wearing 3D glasses inside. So I wouldn't recommend it. It'll confuse your brain.
All right, good. Well, if you're watching out there, we are giving away a pair of Tempos. Actually, I've got the box right here. These are the actual ones that we're going to give away. So this is the box. So go to incentiveconcepts.com. bose.com/tempo and enter before 3 p.m. Central, which is 4 p.m. East Coast time. Anything else about tempos you want to share, Sean, before we bring Brian and Kevin back on?
No, I think that was it.
Okay, wonderful. So Brian and Kevin, you guys have been listening in. They got their tempos on too. So it looks like they're going to have to go for a run or go cycling. Anything to add about tempos, guys?
No, I think that, the nice new part of these, the new frames are very stylish. They're louder. They're, just a little bit nicer and a little better than the first versions, which were great as well. But these add a little bit more style and a little bit more personality to them. So I think that's really what's going to take off on these. But terrific glasses, and as usual, Sean, great job explaining all the features and benefits of the product.
Yeah, and you actually bring up a good point that I forgot, Kevin. In the because we had more real estate here, we're putting in a larger speaker, so these actually do play louder than these, because we realized kind of our measuring stick was customers with the original frames, people who are riding bikes at high speed couldn't hear it over the sound of the wind. So we tested it at 25 miles an hour wind noise to make sure that you can still hear the product. So by having that larger speaker, it can play louder and lower. So yeah, thanks for that reminder there, Kev.
Okay, and Brian, are you gonna get out and do some walking or hiking in those today? Or
yeah, I figured I'll put them on, and that will motivate me to get outside and do some exercise. Once it gets a little bit warmer here in New England, it's still pretty cold. But like Sean was saying, as far as if you had told any of us that we'd be selling sunglasses at Bose 5 years ago, we would think you were crazy. But at the very beginning video there, Dr. Bose's famous quote here at Bose is, "In order to be better, you've got to be different." And he spoke about that a lot, as far as, you got to think differently. If the entire marketplace is going this way, then Bose Corporation needs to be going this way with something new and exciting to create a completely new market, which is what we're doing with the frames. So as Kevin mentioned, we kind of came out with our first round of frames last year with the Alto and Rondo. Now we've got Tempo and Soprano and what's the other one called? Cat Eyes, I guess. So we're getting better and better. We're learning more about fashion and style here, because we are a speaker company. We're not a fashion company. So we are learning as we go along. But I think definitely with Tempo, we nailed it as far as the good sports sunglasses go.
Yeah, well, and the two of you with those glasses on are the epitome of style right now. Let me tell you, Sean. We've got one more product to look at here. Kevin and Brian, you guys can stick tight. I'll just spotlight him. Why don't you get into our last product there, Sean?
Yeah, so if we kind of go through our day, we woke up and got some exercise, and we put on our QC buds and really focused on our work and enjoyed our frames, taking a little lunchtime walk, and now it's time for bed. And I'm really amazed with our Bose sleep buds, and that's the last product I want to talk about. And this is a product I use nightly. And it's funny. I have a bed that measures, how much I toss and turn and how much sleep, restful sleep I get. And it is remarkable when I look at the stats of when I wear them and I don't. It just puts me into such a deeper sleep. And you think about, there's kind of two reasons why people have a tough time sleeping. One could be a noisy environment, a noisy snoring partner, like my wife has to endure. You could be in a noisy apartment, what have you. There's just noise that keeps you awake. There's also people that just have a tough time shutting their brains down, and that's probably where I fall into. I can once I'm asleep, I'm out. There's not a lot that wakes me up, but kind of shutting my brain down and quieting my brain and getting to sleep is a challenge for me. And I think for a lot of people. And if you look at the two solutions that have been out there, people are buying earplugs to block out the annoying sounds they don't want to hear, or they're buying a sound machine to create that kind of soothing, spa music type of music. And think of these earbuds, sleep buds, as 2-in-1. They passively act like earplugs because they're so tiny and they go into your ear and they just passively not block out a lot of sound, but they also play soothing sounds. Now, these products don't stream music from your phone. How they work is that you have a library of over 40 sounds that you load onto the sleep buds, and the sleep buds can store up to 10 individual sounds. And I love it because I'm going to switch my camera here, and I'm going to show you what our collection of sounds is. And we've curated these. We work with a lot of colleges and sleep studies and universities to really understand what helps people fall asleep. So you'll notice here's the Bose sleep app. we have three categories. We have noise masking sounds. Now, noise masking sounds will help cover sounds that are keeping you awake. So if there's a snoring partner, if your brain can only hear one frequency at a time. So say it's me snoring and my snoring is very low or bassy. You could find a sound in here like ocean waves or thunder that's in that same frequency range, and that helps cover up or mask the sound that's keeping me awake. I don't have that problem. I'm in a pretty noisy environment, noise-free environment. So what I listen to are a variety of naturescape sounds. So these are, if you've ever listened to any kind of spa music, it's very similar to that, very synth and soothing and calming sounds. And these are the naturescapes. Sorry. These are sounds such as wind and ocean and rain and a country road, whole variety of sounds that you have here. And then these are the tranquilities, and these are more of the spa soothing sounds. And there's over 45 sounds available from the library, and you can load up to 10 at a time. And we're continuing to curate more and more sounds and add them to the library. So again, kind of a better with time story here with Sleep Buds is that we're always making the product better. And it's great. I can tell you positively, I can actually measure it, how much better of a night's sleep I get. And they have 10 hours of battery life. And when you're done in the morning, you just pop them in this case and it recharges them and they're good to go the next night. So, and just put it next to my nightstand. And I know that when I'm ready for bed, they're fully charged, and pop them in and tune out the world and then start all over with my sport earbuds the next morning.
Awesome. Well, those seem very helpful and useful. And Kevin, I know you spend a lot of nights in hotels, not so much this past year, obviously, but have you ever used Sleep Buds? Any occasions where they've come in real handy for you?
Yeah, I used to use them all the time. A lot of times in Vegas when I needed 2 hours of good sleep, I would put those in and just crash and, block out all the noise. But, typically when going from state to state or hotel to hotel, that first night is always tough to get to sleep. And I've always have a fan next to my bed, which is just a kind of a comforting noise, I guess. I don't need the fan necessarily. It's just the noise that helps me sleep better. And there was a fan noise on the Sleep Buds that I used to use all the time. And it really, for that first night at the new hotels, it got you, feeling like you were at home and relaxed a little bit. And I definitely slept better with that product.
Wonderful, wonderful. Brian, any thoughts on the Sleep Buds? I know we're getting close to our time here, but any closing thoughts there on those?
Yeah, I mean, just agree with Kevin. I brought him on the road too when we were traveling all over the place. My goodness, me and him were all over the country, not last year, but the year before. And that first night, I needed that box fan because I also sleep with one at the house here. So great product. And now that it's back, let's make sure we get it seated in programs and start selling and helping people sleep at night.
Well, Kathy says, haha, 2 hours of sleep in Vegas. That's called a power nap. Actually, for Kevin, it is his night's sleep, Kathy. But for some of us, it's a power nap. But well, guys, this has been fantastic. I want to remind our viewers to go over to incentiveconcepts.com/tempo to enter for those awesome tempos. These ones right here. I'll ship them to you myself. And make sure to enter those until the top of the hour, which is 3:00, top of next hour, 3 p.m. Central. And then 2 weeks from today, March 18th, we're going to have our next unboxing challenge with Jillian Heilman. She's our rep up in the Pacific Northwest. Those have been a lot of fun. I think you guys have watched those. So make sure to tune into that, incentiveconcepts.com/live. Sean, great job as usual. Brian, we want to know what song that was by Kiss.
Detroit Rock City, of course.
Okay, good. Good. And Kevin, as usual, thank you for being the best co-host of this broadcast ever. And you guys have a great week. Enjoy the rest of March, viewers. Get some sun outside, get some exercise. That really helps us all with our moods this time of year. So Sean again, Brian again, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And everybody,
Thanks,
you guys have a great week. Take care.